I'm Corbin Pop.
And I'm Ian Carney. And
we're the creators of Darwin. Today. Well, the show's really been in a workshop for 4 years, sort of off and on. Now, we've done things in stages. Everything we've built has been mostly done in New Orleans. And there's been several times where we've re-workshopped and brought in dancers and brought in a director, and we've had a couple people donate a warehouse space so we could lay everything out and try it out. And but off and on a good 4 years, and we built the first section of the show and the last section of the show, and then sort of filled the gaps.
Yeah, and it's always
it's still in workshop.
It's always in workshop is our sort of view of it. There's always things that can be improved. There's always sort of Corbin put these dimmers in, and for the longest time we only used the dimmers for basically to come on and turn off just without a hard switch. And then somewhere along the line we realized, wow, if the dinosaur is excited, he can become brighter, and if he's upset, he can become dimmer. Mm-hmm. And then it started to become a whole narrative tool, and we keep thinking that we haven't scratched the surface, and already with all the things we haven't figured out how to use them in the most creative way. So
and we're internal, so just as a show has lighting cues, well, we have our lighting cues. Right. And the lighting cues you do all manual, which is a really neat aspect. You're not just the actor, you're also the lighting designer, and you've got all the cues in your hand.
It's funny that the whole show is called Darwin, and this is the extent of its Darwin, properties. That love evolves. You know what I mean? And we've gone, we've had issues with naming the show and dealing with, Darwin and you're in the South, and that's the D word and all that kind of stuff. And we just came from a place where it didn't dawn on us that would be an issue at all, that people evolve, love evolves, so, but it carries a lot of baggage, mm-hmm. The D word.
And we did stumble onto Darwin a lot because of a book he wrote about facial expression. It wasn't the origin of species really that cued us on, but when we were making these, it's like, you tip the eyes out and it becomes a male. You tip the eyes in, it becomes a female on some of these fish that we'll see. And so how you design the face to get the right expression you want was sort of what we were playing with. And that's what we thought about Darwin, and here we are. We're still designing.
To get him in the middle, to get your expressions somewhere in the middle, so that when he cocks his head, or when he becomes aggressive, or when he's sheepish, you can't change the expression. So it's got to be somewhere in the middle, plus the actor's ability to make him all those things. He's cute. He should get back in the show. Yeah, people have called us a ballet before. That's our background, has been classical ballet. I think what's interesting about it is that we've moved into puppets. It's been a natural extension of dance, mm-hmm. For us. We would just do it. We would be dinosaurs without puppets, because that's the dance sort of form, and then you just put the apparatus on, and then you're like, oh wow, you're looking, and it's a natural extension. Mm-hmm.
And dancers, we find, are really easy to train in that way. I mean, we are puppeteers in the fact that we're doing puppetry, but we're wearing the puppets, and we're dancing with the puppets. Yeah. And so in a sense, we're melding dance and puppetry, and in the dark is a whole nother thing. It opens up a whole bag of worms in the backstage choreography. To put on something in the dark, mm-hmm. is a whole nother thing than putting it on in the light. Yeah. And it truly is. The things that can go wrong and the nervousness that can happen and how to deal with it, you need to have people you can train and that you can teach and that can pick it up on their own. That's a dancer. That's a dancer that we know because we've been around it a lot. In respect to where Darwin's going, I think even bigger than that is the company has a lot of ideas. We've only scratched the surface. You know, we've got ideas for you know, hockey intermission kind of thing. Mm-hmm. We've got ideas for sit downs, for industrials, for the Super Bowl. You know,
do you mean Darwin on Ice?
Yeah, Darwin on Ice.
You know, much bigger than Darwin, even in particular. There's a lot of ideas.
Corbion as a company to you know, Darwin is this particular show, but to go way beyond that. I mean, just the theatrics we can deliver on a large scale that we really want to get the opportunity to do. I mean, you know, a Honda having, you know, 8 dinosaurs crawling out of it, right? At an industrial, or a giant cauldron with 50 dinosaurs coming out of it at the
Olympics, you know?
Right, exactly. Wow. This kind of stuff that people would just be blown away.
Oh, they would, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, you know, we want to be on the forefront of making that happen.
Now, the other place this show could go, which we're really proud of, is it can be remote. It's all battery powered. There's no reason this whole show couldn't be set up in the middle of a desert or a small village or someplace.
That's right.
And no problem.
Bringing theater to a group of people who've never seen it before, it doesn't have to be this enormous. I mean, just a relationship between the dinosaur and a professor and what happens there, if the story is well told, you know, and you're your own lighting grid, you're your own all that stuff, so that, you know, that's that cool part about it. I would love to get a grant to go to some places that don't get theater and be able to really move people. They're just like, we've never seen anything like this ever, you know. And that's, I mean, we
talked many times about this. Yeah, I think it's definitely in our sights. This is a typical backstage of what we have all our puppets on racks like this. And each puppet we have back here, they all have names and they all have had a history of building. Some of them 3 or 4 times. Starting right here, this is one of our biggest birds. Her name is Icarus. And as you can see, we use a whole bunch of different materials, from ducting to backpack frames, fishing poles, a lot of aluminum, and of course the L-wire and fabric that cover the whole puppet. It's worn mostly on the shoulders. A lot of the puppets are worn on the shoulders and then have feet attachments.
She's funny because Icarus is the second puppet we made of the 2 big birds. Phaedra's down there.
See Phaedra's head sticking out there.
Phaedra's the first puppet, so it doesn't do a lot of things. It doesn't, the necks don't compress, and we always learn from the second one, you know. And then this girl, I mean, look at how sad.
Yeah, with the lights on, you're like, baby, hold on, but she never shorts. She's really good.
She's the saddest girl in light. In dark, she rocks, but in light, I mean, she has been fixed. We've sat on her and fixed her hours and hours and hours and hours. It's really funny. But Verla always, and the hard part, right, is as sad as she looks, then you're gonna make a new Verla, right? And then all this stuff is her character. So many times we make a new Verla and then, you know, make a new character and then half of the personality's gone, you know. So it's funny. We always got to try to.
I mean, having it evolve is really nice, even if it's got its imperfections. That sometimes is what's great. But I mean, beyond all that, as you're building one and then the next, you have to think about travel. Like Icarus. Icarus's head doesn't fold as well as Phaedra's, so it doesn't go in the bag. So as you're going, you learn not just the aspect of the character and the building and making it be reliable, but also does it pack up and go into a box and fly.
Here's our old guy. Right. This is our new Darwin, and here, turn him on. This is our old Darwin, and it's so funny because you see all the I mean,
So you
how goofy
here,
he is.
Here, yeah, he's kind of.
He's so goofy, and then you make the brand new one, and then he loses some of the goofiness, and so it's always a constant battle between that, and then the interiors, you've got a plush interior pistol grip, all that kind of thing, and that is completely ghetto,
Yeah, that's
but
definitely
revolutionary at the time.
Yeah, I mean,
Not very Darwinian.
Yes, exactly, exactly.
and boy, that really gets the outer part of your arm.
Yeah.
With this setup, you can hold your hand, use your fist, it'd be like holding it like that.
So you guys, I'm going to ask you some questions.